Welcome to the 2022 reorganization meeting. As you can see, we're back to Zoom probably for the months of January and February until the spike subsides. Before we get into the reorganization meeting, I'd like to explain a motion that I'll be making in a moment. We held our last meeting of the year this past Tuesday evening, December 28th. We shifted that meeting to Zoom only format given COVID-related events that were quickly emerging the 4 or 5 days right before that meeting. We were closed this past Monday for the holiday. That was our designated holiday. And additionally, we had to close our municipal offices on Tuesday for safety reasons. We began a deep cleaning and disinfecting operation Monday and into Tuesday. Thanks to our EMS, DPW, and OEM resources for executing this important activity. Although we opened up again Wednesday and were able to maintain a continuity of government, we had some COVID absences, and which I can't detail due to privacy and HIPAA regulations, but it did affect our timelines somewhat, not so much our continuity of government. We executed the legal notices, as Erica just said, for this meeting and met the OPMA requirements, but we were not able to comply with our borough's ordinance of 48-hour agenda notice, nor could we have complied with the 96-hour notice relative to getting agenda items to the clerk. But the 48 hours is really the important one I wanted to mention. We published the agenda on Thursday evening versus Thursday at noon. We apologize, but we hope you can understand that these are not normal times. With that as a backdrop, I'm making a motion for one-time waiver of Article 1, 5-9A of the Borough Ordinance, which refers to both the 96-hour agenda item matters to the clerk and the 48-hour allowance for the publication of detailed agenda. Do I have a second for this motion?
Second.
Mr. Pennell, absent. Mr. Gubitosi?
Before I vote, Mr. Mayor, are you saying waiver and ratification or simply waiver?
Simply waiver.
My concern with that, sir, is, as you said, there are members, likely to be members of the public, who are just as confused as we've been in terms of our efforts to get information to the public in a timely manner. And to the extent those members of the public are not able to join this call, I was under the impression we were planning to offer a ratification of the votes taken today at a subsequent meeting. But I was under that impression from a conversation I had with our council. Apparently that's changed. Is that correct?
I'm not sure I understand your point on people can't be at the meeting. This meeting's being recorded. I'm sorry?
They can be at the meeting, but they knew about a meeting, but they didn't have any time to spend with the agenda. Not sufficient time. Not the time that our rules provide for the public. 48 hours, as you just said.
Understand, but this is a reorganization meeting, which is really more of a readout of what the reorganization is. There are 2 agenda items. One we covered last week. We're just revisiting it, and the other agenda item deals with just extending the beach badge discount because we're concerned that people aren't able to get in and out of their homes in the last week or 2.
So you're saying expediency rules rather than honoring our commitment to the public. I'm just trying to get.
No, I'm not saying that, Councilman. So the motion is for a waiver. If you
all right, then I vote no for the waiver.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Sexsmith?
Yes.
And Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We'll move to agenda item number 5, which is organization of mayor and borough council. The first thing I'd like to do—
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry, a point of order. Are we planning to open the agenda for public comment before we proceed?
No, in prior reorganization meetings, that is not, actually in some reorganization meetings, there's no public comments. I made sure that we had public comments at the end of the meeting. So we do have that, as we had last year.
Again, typically we allow the public to comment if they had any questions or any comments they wanted to offer, but I think it's inappropriate to not let the public comment. That's my comment.
Okay, duly noted. As I said, this has been the practice here for years and years, and in some municipalities that don't even offer comments in the reorganization meeting. But I wanted to make sure we had comments in this meeting. Okay,